Hi, my name is Gina Jacobo, and I'll be presenting on visual processing disorder. Visual processing disorder, or perceptual disorder, refers to a hindered ability to make sense of information taken in through the eyes. Difficulties with visual processing affect how visual information is interpreted or processed by the brain. This is different than a problem involving sight or vision. It's more than that. The brain, not the eyes, processes the visual world, such as symbols, pictures, and distances. When there is a weakness in these brain functions, that's when it's considered a visual processing disorder or issue. The prevalence. No one really knows how common visual processing issues are, especially because these disorders often go undetected. These issues or symptoms often occur among kids with learning issues. For example, dyslexia. Dyslexia is the most common learning disorder in America. 1 in every 5 children have dyslexia, so most likely 1 in 5 children will have a visual processing disorder. Causes. Well, researchers don't know what exactly causes a visual processing issue, but they do know that the issues occur when the brain fails to accurately receive and read visual cues sent by the eyes. Think about the brain as a circuit board with wires. When the eyes see visual information and it travels through another wire, there must be a kink in the wiring, or the parts may be too narrow, that keeps the signal from going to the right part of the brain. There are some theories and possibilities of visual processing disorder, such as low birth weight, extreme preterm, possible mild traumatic brain issues, but these theories, there's not enough research to support them. There are actually 8 types of visual processing disorder. The first type is visual discrimination. The child may not see the difference between similar shapes, such as mixing up B and D. The second type is visual ground discrimination. This one, students often have difficult time picking out an object from the background on the page. The third type is visual sequencing. That's the ability to distinguish symbols, words, or images. For example, writing within the margins of a line, setting up math problems to solve it, so on. The fourth kind is visual motor processing. Students have difficulty using the feedback from eyes to coordinate movement, and then this leads to students often bumping into things. The fifth type is long and short-term memory, the ability to recall something seen recently or long ago, and this can be difficult for students to remember letters and numbers. The sixth kind is visual spatial, difficulty telling where objects are in space. So it can make telling time difficult, reading a map, or understanding how far or how close an object is to them. The seventh type is visual closure. This is difficulty identifying an object when only parts are visual presented, such as not recognizing a truck because it's missing wheels. And then the eighth type is letter and symbol reversals. Basically switching letters or numbers when writing, and this often translates into letter formation, so this could be difficult for students. And it's important to note that a child may have a combination of any of these issues. Some psychological and behavior characteristics include not paying attention to visual tasks, getting easily distracted by visual information presented, difficulty requiring copying tasks from the board, having reversals, misreading letters and numbers, bumping into things, having a difficult time spelling familiar words, poor reading comprehension when reading silently to themselves, and often skipping lines when they're reading, or they'll reread the same line over and over. Maybe sometimes they'll have weak math skills because they confuse the signs used or skip a step. And visual processing disorders can also affect the way a child feels about themselves. So they may feel their self-esteem go down as it can be hard fitting in. These students may have difficulty with sports, so they might want to withdraw from other friends because they feel different. So what skills are affected? Well, many times students and children do not show signs of visual processing until they actually start school. But the longer they go without the help, the greater impact they might have on other skills, such as academics. They might have difficulty reading and writing and math skills, struggling to tell letters from numbers and symbols apart, and having a hard time remembering and recognizing what they read. It might affect them emotional. As students fall behind in school, their self-confidence may be impacted, as well as life skills. Visual processing disorder can make simple tasks hard for students. For example, matching socks together, putting away utensils, or even remembering phone numbers. Some educational considerations for the general education classroom can include enlarging print for books, papers, or any material the student might be using in the classroom, creating a window for extra stimuli to be blocked out so the student doesn't get distracted, and then writing, structuring worksheets with limited information presented at a time. Some teaching styles could be oral directions with written directions, copy of notes, or even having another student take notes for them, allowing extra time on assignments and tests, and also breaking down and segmenting assignments into smaller steps. Suggestions for parents would be writing out schedules and instructions clearly, color coding, using large letters, a lot of practice. So this could be playing games with puzzles, reading books such as Where's Waldo, also playing catch or ball together, and then celebrating victories. So if a student is practicing a spelling pattern, go ahead and offer praise and celebrate that victory, as well as working with a vision specialist to strengthen skills, and then Tech Finder for recommended apps, games, and software programs that can be helping with reading issues as well. There's assistive technology available for parents to help students, to help them with their reading skills, and then also finding out about local resources. So the Parent Technical Assistant Network website has great resources for parents. And these are my sources.